The desert planet of Clyra 7 was quiet. Too quiet for Captain Alex Morgan. He had been stationed at the remote human research outpost for months, cataloging alien plants, scanning for minerals, and observing the strange wildlife that wandered across the reddish sands. The sky was a pale orange and the twin suns glared down relentlessly. For Alex, days like this were monotonous, yet comforting. He liked the solitude. It allowed him to focus on his work and his thoughts. He wiped sweat from his forehead with the back of his hand as he adjusted the scanner over a peculiar plant. Its petals shimmered in colors he had never seen on Earth. Interesting, he muttered. Definitely not native to this sector. Suddenly, his comms buzzed. Captain Morgan, do you copy? The voice was urgent, but hesitant. Loud and clear, Alex replied. What's going on? No answer came. Instead, there was a soft whoosh behind him. He turned, hand on the sidearm strapped to his waist, and froze. A figure hovered slightly above the ground, bathed in a soft golden light. She was humanoid, but clearly alien. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, and her eyes were a deep violet, luminous and wide. She wore a flowing gown that seemed to float around her, shifting colors subtly with every movement. Alex blinked. Hello? The figure tilted her head. I am Princess Lysera of the Zephyrian Empire, she said, her voice musical but strangely formal. I require assistance. Alex frowned. Zephyrians were known across the galaxy for their strict protocols and highly advanced technology. Seeing a royal here unannounced was unexpected to say the least. I assume you mean help from the outpost? He asked cautiously. This is not exactly a visitor center. Lysera's violet eyes widened. She raised one delicate hand. I require the use of your shower. Alex froze. Excuse me, he said, his voice cracking slightly. Your shower? She nodded slowly, almost shyly. Yes. I wish to bathe. In your room. Alex stepped back, trying to process her words. He had met many alien species in his career, but none had ever asked to use his personal hygiene facilities, especially not a royal princess. Why, your room? He asked cautiously, trying to hide his surprise. Lysera's ears, hidden beneath her flowing hair, flicked slightly. It is private and safe. I cannot use my own facilities. They are too monitored, too formal. Alex swallowed. Okay, look. I don't usually host guests, especially not royal guests asking to shower in my quarters, but if you really need it, I guess we can figure something out. Lysera's relief was immediate. Her shoulders relaxed and her glowing skin dimmed slightly as she gave a small nod. Thank you, human. You are kind. Alex nodded. Follow me. But, a few things first. My bathroom is basic. No fancy tech, just human style. You'll need to adjust. She tilted her head. Human style? Alex hesitated. Yeah, you know. Water comes from a nozzle. You use it to clean yourself. No magic, no teleportation, no whatever fancy alien stuff you might have. Lysera blinked. Then in a voice that sounded equal parts confused and curious, she asked, Do humans enjoy this? Alex laughed, shaking his head. Honestly, it's practical. Keeps you alive, keeps you clean, not much else to it. Lysera frowned. She tilted her head further, studying him closely. Practical, you say? Strange, yet appealing. Alex raised an eyebrow. Glad you think so. Now, let's get you inside before someone notices you wandering around. The two of them walked quickly across the dusty outpost. Alex noticed the curious glances from the few other humans in the research team, but they quickly averted their eyes, unsure whether to interrupt or pretend they hadn't seen a royal floating behind Alex. When they reached his room, Lysera paused at the doorway. Your quarters are humble, she observed, stepping inside. Her eyes scanned the small bed, the metal desk covered in equipment, and the bathroom area carefully partitioned by a curtain. Yet, functional, Alex grinned. Exactly. Humble and functional. That's the human way. Lysera's attention moved to the shower. She inspected it closely, reaching out to touch the controls. A faint shimmer passed over her hand as if she were scanning it. Water emerges from here? Yes, Alex said, trying to stay calm despite his curiosity. You turn the dial. Water comes out, hot, cold, or somewhere in between. Lysera nodded slowly, a hint of hesitation in her movements. And all of this is private? Alex chuckled. Completely. No one else will see you. Promise. For a moment, Lysera simply stared at him. Then she spoke softly. You, humans, value privacy so freely. Alex shrugged. It's a simple pleasure, something most humans take for granted. Lysera tilted her head. I see, humans are different from us, not weaker, not less advanced, just different. Alex felt a small smile tug at his lips. You're starting to get it. Humans have ways that make sense for humans, and sometimes they work better than all the fancy tech you aliens have. There was a pause. Then Lysera said something that made Alex's jaw drop slightly. Can I ask something strange? Alex raised an eyebrow. You're already asking something strange, but go ahead. She hesitated. After using your shower, do humans feel renewed? Alex laughed softly. Yeah, you could say that. Makes you feel better, cleaner, sometimes even happier. Lysera considered this. Intriguing and dangerous to be so simple yet powerful. Alex blinked. Simple yet powerful? That's a new way to put it. She finally nodded and moved closer to the shower. I will try. Alex quickly stepped aside and handed her a towel and some basic clothing. Here, you'll need these, and don't worry about instructions, just go at your own pace. Lysera accepted the items and gave a small bow. You are patient, kind, brave, even for a human. Alex waved a hand. Just doing what I can. Now, privacy. Don't want anyone barging in. Lysera stepped into the shower area, her skin glowing softly in the human light. Alex turned toward the desk, pretending to busy himself with notes and equipment. His heart still raced. Hosting royalty was one thing. Hosting royalty in their most private moment was another entirely. He could hear the faint sound of water running and saw the faint shimmer of her form through the curtain. There was a quiet grace to her. The quiet of Alex's room was gone. Princess Lysera had returned to her usual formality, her violet eyes scanning the small space as if trying to understand how humans lived. She walked slowly, touching objects with careful curiosity, her silver skin shimmering under the artificial light. Alex, still a little flustered from the morning's events, tried to focus on his notes, but it was impossible. Lysera's questions kept coming, innocent yet baffling. Human. How do you live alone? She asked. Her voice was soft but precise. Alex scratched the back of his neck. Well, we get used to it. We cook, clean, take care of ourselves. We improvise when things break. Humans are good at fixing problems, Lysera tilted her head. Improvise, fix, problem, curious. We have specialists. For everything. You do it. All? Alex shrugged. Mostly, we make do. Humans adapt. It's kind of our specialty. Lysera studied him for a long moment. I see. You are different from others. Not weaker, not less capable, just different, Alex chuckled. Yeah, that's one way to put it. You aliens tend to overthink or over-engineer. We just try and see what works. She nodded slowly. Perhaps there is strength in simplicity, Alex smiled. Exactly. You're starting to understand humans. Just then, Lysera's communicator buzzed again. She froze, listening intently, her delicate features tense. They are close, she whispered. The rival faction. They know I am here. We must act quickly. Alex raised an eyebrow. Rival faction? You mean, like, enemy aliens? Lysera's expression darkened. Yes, they wish to capture me for political gain. I did not intend to involve you human, yet my presence brings danger. Alex stood, trying to calm himself. Well, danger is one thing, but running from it is another. We need a plan, Lysera nodded. You humans are brave or reckless, perhaps? Both, Alex laughed softly. Both, yeah. And right now, bravery beats recklessness. We need to move you to a safe location before they arrive. Lysera's eyes widened slightly. Safe location where? Alex thought quickly. There's a neutral research station about 50 clicks from here. It's lightly guarded. No one will question a visitor arriving unexpectedly. Lysera's lips parted. You would escort me there? Alex smirked. I guess it's part of the job now. You came asking for a shower, princess. I didn't sign up for politics, but hey, life is full of surprises. Lysera tilted her head, considering his words. Indeed, life is full of unexpected surprises, and humans seem to handle them well. They packed quickly. Alex grabbed a small backpack with rations, water, and basic medical supplies. Lysera, unused to such human simplicity, carried nothing, trusting him completely. The bond of trust was fragile but growing. Outside, the harsh suns beat down on the red sands. The air was thin but breathable thanks to the outpost's environmental controls. Alex led the way, walking steadily while Lysera floated slightly above the ground, moving with an elegance that seemed effortless. So, Alex began, trying to lighten the tension. You're a princess, huh? That must be complicated. Lysera gave a faint smile. Complicated is an understatement. My people expect perfection. I must uphold honor in all things. Alex nodded slowly. Yeah, humans can relate. Not as strict maybe, but we have expectations too. Family, work, society. Sometimes it feels like a lot. Lysera tilted her head. Yet, you live freely. You choose your path. More than we do. Alex smiled. Freedom comes with responsibility. You adapt, survive, and keep moving forward. That's humans in a nutshell. Lysera considered this. Interesting, perhaps. Freedom is a kind of strength, different from power or technology. Alex glanced at her, impressed by her insight. Exactly. You're learning fast. The desert stretched endlessly around them. Every so often, a strange creature scuttled across the sand, disappearing into a small crater. Alex kept a careful eye on their surroundings. Despite the alien beauty of Clyra 7, it was dangerous. Survival depended on caution, observation, and quick thinking, qualities Alex knew well. Lysera floated beside him, silent for a moment. Human, you seem calm, even with danger approaching. Why? Alex shrugged. Experience. You learn to stay calm when the unexpected hits. Panicking doesn't help. You plan, adapt, and keep going. Lysera's eyes glowed faintly. Adapt. Human. Skills are practical, admirable. I wish my people valued these traits more. Alex smiled. You might be surprised. Some do. Humans are different, but we're good at more than just surviving. A sudden movement in the sand caught Alex's attention. He froze and motioned for Lysera to do the same. A small reconnaissance drone sent by the rival faction hovered silently a few hundred meters ahead, scanning the area. They found us, Lysera whispered. Alex grinned faintly. Good thing humans have ingenuity. He grabbed a small device from his backpack. With a few quick adjustments, he activated a low-frequency pulse that interfered with the drone's sensors. The machine wobbled and then plummeted into the sand. Lysera watched in astonishment. Ingenious. Human technology. Simple, yet effective. Alex laughed. Simple works. Fancy stuff can be cool, but sometimes all you need is the basics. And a little clever thinking. They continued walking. The outpost disappeared behind them, swallowed by the endless dunes. Alex led Lysera through hidden paths known only to locals and researchers, paths that avoided open exposure to the skies. Along the way, Lysera began asking more questions, not about survival but about humans themselves. Human. Why do You smile so often? She asked, tilting her head. Alex chuckled. Smiling isn't just for happiness. It's communication, reassurance. It shows others you're not a threat. Humans use small gestures. A lot. Lysra nodded slowly. Fascinating. Humans express complex emotion through small acts. We do not fully understand this. Alex shrugged. It comes naturally. You don't have to overthink it. She considered this in silence, her glowing skin dimming as the sun's heat bore down. You humans are resilient. Not because you are stronger, but because you endure all the things and adapt. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. That's a good way to put it. You're starting to understand humans better than some humans do. Hours passed. The dunes rolled endlessly, yet Alex's steps were steady, careful, and precise. He had survived worse environments, and he knew the value of caution and planning. Lysra followed closely, learning from him without fully realizing it. At last, the neutral research station appeared in the distance, a small dome with antennas and landing pads guarded lightly by automated drones. Alex led Lysra inside, and the station's personnel, surprised but professional, accepted her presence without question. Once inside a secure room, Lysra exhaled, her shoulders relaxing for the first time since arriving on Clara 7. Safe. For now, she said softly. Thanks, Shimon, for guiding me, Alex smiled. No problem. You came asking to shower in my room? Didn't think it would turn into a rescue mission. Lysra gave a small, shy smile. Perhaps my original request was naive, yet led to understanding. Between our worlds, Alex laughed. Not naive, just unexpected. And that's humans in a nutshell. Expect the unexpected and make it work. She looked at him, her violet eyes glowing faintly. I begin to understand humans are more capable than we realized, perhaps more honorable, too. Alex felt a small thrill of pride. It was rare for an alien royal to show such admiration for humans, and even rarer for him to witness it firsthand. Outside, the suns of Clara 7 dipped lower, casting long shadows across the desert. Inside the secure station, Alex and Lysra had formed an unusual bond, one born of curiosity, necessity, and the simple human ability to adapt. The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but Alex knew one thing: humans had a way of surviving, learning, and even thriving in the most unexpected circumstances. And Princess Lysra, despite her royal upbringing, was learning that as well. For now, they were safe. But the rival faction would not give up easily. And soon, Alex realized, they would be forced to test not only human ingenuity, but also courage, trust, and the strength of an unexpected alliance. The neutral research station hummed with quiet activity. Automated drones moved along the walls, scanning and repairing, while humans and a few alien researchers worked on various projects. Alex Morgan had hoped that Princess Lysra would finally have a moment of peace. He was wrong. Before he could even begin to relax, the station's alarms blared loudly. Red lights flashed across the walls, casting long, ominous shadows. The air vibrated with tension. Alex grabbed Lysra's arm. They're here, she said softly, her violet eyes wide with worry. The rival faction. They have found us, Alex's mind raced. They had arrived at a secure location, one that should have been neutral ground. But the rival aliens were persistent, aggressive, and clearly skilled. We need a plan, he said, his voice calm despite the growing tension. We can't fight them head-on here. Too many civilians, too many lives at risk. Lysra's gaze softened. Human, you think fast. I trust you, Alex nodded. Good, trust is the first step. Next, we adapt. He moved to the station's control panel. A holographic map of the station and its surroundings floated in the air. He studied it carefully, identifying the vulnerable points and exits. We'll set traps, lure them into narrow corridors, and use their overconfidence against them. Humans are good at that sort of thing. Lysra tilted her head. Traps, overconfidence? Explain. Human. Methods, Alex smiled faintly. We improvise. Use what we have to turn the enemy's strengths into weaknesses. Sometimes it's strategy, sometimes it's quick thinking, sometimes it's sheer guts. Lysra watched him closely, her glowing eyes narrowing in focus. guts. Humans rely on courage and intuition more than technology. Alex chuckled. Exactly. We use technology, sure, but it's our mind, our instincts, and our ability to adapt that make us dangerous. Outside, a distant roar echoed across the planet. Alex felt the ground tremble slightly. The rival faction had begun their assault. Drones and small attack crafts hovered menacingly in the sky, scanning for movement. They approach. Quickly, Lysera whispered. Alex pulled her to a narrow corridor, a hidden path few personnel knew existed. Follow me. Stay close, and stay quiet. They moved through the station silently, Alex leading the way. He knew the station's layout better than anyone, and he had already planned several points where they could gain the advantage. The first group of enemy aliens entered through the main bay. Tall armored figures with glowing weapons advanced cautiously. Alex had already prepared a simple device, a low-frequency pulse generator that interfered with their sensors. With a flick of his wrist, he activated it. The aliens faltered, their movements jerky and confused. One of them stumbled into a maintenance panel, short-circuiting its systems. Alex and Lysera moved past, silent and swift, their path clear for now. Lysera's eyes shone with admiration. Impressive. Human ingenuity. You use their own technology. Against them, Alex nodded. Sometimes the simplest tricks work best. They expect brute force, not cleverness. As they reached the next corridor, a larger group of enemies blocked their path. Alex quickly surveyed the area. Pipes ran along the ceiling and walls, some carrying superheated water or steam. Lysera, stay close, he whispered. We're going to make a little human improvisation work. He grabbed a small control panel, redirecting the station's steam lines into the corridor. A sudden hiss filled the air and scalding steam shot out, forcing the enemies back. They scrambled, shielding themselves from the unexpected attack. Lysera's lips parted in surprise. Clever human. Thinking, using environment as weapon, Alex smirked. Adaptation. That's what humans do best. You use what you have and you use it fast. The pair continued down the corridor, narrowly avoiding patrols and traps. Alex led Lysera into the station's storage bay, a cramped, cluttered room filled with crates, tools, and spare equipment. He used the space to set up temporary defenses, using ropes, crates, and even simple pulleys to create obstacles. Lysera watched, fascinated. You turn ordinary objects into protection, human. Creativity is astonishing, Alex shrugged. You learn to do it when survival depends on it. That's humans. Hours passed. The rival faction advanced, but Alex's clever use of the station's layout, improvised defenses, and strategic thinking kept them at bay. He moved with precision, anticipating their actions, adapting quickly to each new threat. Lysera stayed close, observing, learning, and even assisting in minor ways. She adjusted a pulley here, blocked a door there, her alien skills complementing Alex's human ingenuity. Slowly, the princess began to understand the human way. Practical, bold, adaptive, and unafraid to face danger with cleverness rather than brute force. At one point, a larger enemy contingent tried to flank them through a maintenance shaft. Alex noticed it immediately. Lysera, stay behind me. This might get tricky. He grabbed a few containers, rolling them to block the shaft. Then, with a small device, he created a bright flash of light, temporarily blinding the intruders. Confused, the enemies stumbled into the crates and barriers Alex had set up earlier, buying them precious time. Lysera's violet eyes shone with admiration. Humans are unexpected. Even without advanced weapons, you survive and protect others, Alex nodded. We have to. That's what being human is about. Survival is important, but protecting those you care about, that's what defines us. After a tense hour, the enemy forces began to retreat. Alex had successfully held the station using nothing but his quick thinking, adaptability, and the help of a few clever devices. Lysera let out a quiet sigh of relief. You humans are fearless. In your own way, she said softly. Not reckless, just brave, with a purpose. Alex smiled faintly. You're getting it. Humans don't need fancy tech to be dangerous. We have courage, creativity, and a willingness to act. That's enough. Lysera looked at him, her eyes reflecting the soft light of the station. I see now. Why, your species is respected throughout. Galaxy's strength comes from more than muscle or technology. It comes from heart and mind and will. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had never expected to teach an alien princess about humans, and yet here he was doing exactly that. For a moment they stood in silence, listening to the distant sounds of retreating enemies. The station's alarms gradually died down, replaced by the soft hum of machinery. They were safe for now. Lizera finally spoke. Thank you, human, for your protection and your wisdom. I have learned much today about humans and myself, Alex shrugged. It's nothing, just human instincts. You adapt, you survive, and you help the people you care about. That's what humans do. And you're learning fast. She gave a faint, shy smile. Perhaps human methods are not so simple as I thought. They carry power beyond my understanding. Alex laughed softly. Exactly. You've got it. Humans are simple, yet surprisingly complicated. Outside, the suns of Clara 7 dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the desert. Inside the station, Alex and Lysera had formed an unspoken bond. They had faced danger together, learned from each other, and survived against odds that should have been impossible. Alex realized something important. Humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, problem solvers, and courageous beyond measure. And now Princess Lysera had seen it firsthand. Lysera turned to him, her expression serious but warm. Human, I trust. You have shown me the strength of your kind. I will not forget this. Alex smiled faintly. Trust is earned, Princess, and today we earned it together. As they prepared for the next step, returning to Lysera's empire and facing the lingering threat of the rival faction, Alex knew one thing for certain. Humans had a way of surviving, adapting and thriving no matter the challenge, and he had a feeling the galaxy was about to witness that strength in ways it had never. The desert wind whipped across the barren plains of Clara 7 as Alex and Princess Lysera moved cautiously away from the neutral station. The rival faction might have been repelled for now, but Alex knew better than to assume they were safe. The alien princess floated beside him, her violet eyes scanning the endless dunes. She had grown quieter since their escape, as though contemplating everything she had seen and learned about humans. Human, she said after a long silence, her voice soft but precise. I do not fully understand your resilience. You face danger without fear, yet you adapt continuously. Alex grinned faintly. It's not magic or luck. Humans survive because we learn, observe, and adjust. If something goes wrong, we fix it. And we never give up. Lysera tilted her head. Adaptation, endurance. These are strengths that my people value, but not as you do, Alex shrugged. Humans rely on action more than planning for perfection. We try, fail, adjust, and keep moving. That's how we survive, especially in a place like this. The princess floated closer, examining his expression. You teach me, without words, how to trust. Intuition. I begin to see why humans thrive in chaos. They moved through the rocky terrain in silence for several minutes. Alex kept his senses sharp, scanning for ambushes. The rival faction was likely regrouping, and the harsh environment itself was just as dangerous as any enemy. You, humans, do not fear wilderness? Lysera asked suddenly, looking at the jagged rocks and swirling sand. Alex laughed softly. Fear is useless. We respect danger, but we don't let it stop us. You use your mind and your hands to survive. That's enough most of the time. Lysera's eyes glimmered. Respect without submission. Fascinating. Humans balance humility with courage in a way we do not. As the day passed, the heat of Clara 7's twin suns became oppressive. Alex led them toward a hidden canyon he had discovered on his surveys, a place where the sun's rays barely reached the ground and small springs of water existed. It was dangerous terrain, but it provided cover and resources. Human, why do you keep moving despite fatigue? Lysera asked. Alex wiped sweat from his brow. You keep moving because stopping isn't an option. You adapt, you survive, you help each other. That's how humans endure. Lysera's gaze softened. I understand. You more than I thought possible. Survival is not only physical, it is mental, emotional as well. Alex nodded. Exactly. You need both. Strength alone isn't enough. Humans combine mind, body, and willpower. That's why we're dangerous even to being stronger than us. As they approached the canyon, the sound of distant engines made Alex freeze. He pressed his hand against Lysera's shoulder. They're here, he whispered. The faction hasn't given up. They're tracking us. Lysera's expression hardened. Then, we must act swiftly. What is your plan, human? Alex surveyed the terrain. The canyon had narrow paths, uneven rocks, and several steep cliffs. Perfect for someone who knew how to use it. We use the terrain. Narrow paths limit their numbers. High ground gives us an advantage, and I've got a few surprises in mind. Lysera's violet eyes brightened faintly. Surprises. You humans use cleverness over brute force. I admire this. Alex led her along a hidden trail to the edge of a cliff. He gestured to a set of rocks in jagged formations below. We'll force them into this area. They'll be trapped, slow, and easy to outmaneuver. Lysera studied the rocks carefully. Human, you see opportunity where others see obstacle. Insight, like this, is rare. Alex smiled faintly. That's humans. We see possibilities even in danger. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows. Alex and Lysera took position. The first signs of the rival faction appeared. Small hovercraft carrying heavily armed aliens approached the canyon. Alex's pulse quickened, but he remained calm. Stay behind me, he whispered to Lysera. Watch, learn, and follow instructions. This is going to be interesting. Using a combination of rocks, pulleys, and a few improvised traps, Alex managed to create obstacles that forced the enemy hovercraft to slow and cluster. He activated a few small devices that released blinding light and bursts of smoke, confusing the attackers further. Lysera watched in awe. Human, your ability to manipulate environment is remarkable. You fight without direct combat and win through intellect and strategy, Alex grinned. Brains over brawn, always. The rival aliens struggled to move forward. Their advanced weapons were rendered less effective in the canyon's tight spaces. Alex took advantage of the confusion, leading Lysera along safe paths, redirecting enemy movements and using his ingenuity to stay one step ahead. Hours passed. The sun disappeared behind the horizon, leaving the desert bathed in pale moonlight. The attackers eventually retreated, frustrated and unable to navigate the terrain effectively. Alex and Lysera were safe for the night. Lysera exhaled, a soft glow surrounding her. Human, you are beyond my expectations. Your species uses mind and courage to survive. Where others would fail, Alex shrugged. We adapt. That's all. But thanks. Means a lot coming from a princess. Lysera's gaze softened. You teach me much about humans. You show that strength is not only physical but mental and moral. I see why your kind survives in ways others cannot. Alex felt a small thrill of pride, not for himself but for humans everywhere. They were clever, adaptable, and courageous, and even an alien princess could see it. That night, they camped near a small spring hidden in the canyon. Alex built a simple shelter using rocks and fabric from his pack. Lysera studied him quietly as he worked, fascinated by the way he combined practical knowledge, speed, and efficiency. You, humans, turn necessity into strength, she said softly. Even in sleep, you prepare for survival. Alex nodded. Humans can't afford mistakes. If you sleep unprepared, you might not wake up. Adaptation isn't just action. It's planning, observation, and creativity. Lysera's eyes reflected the soft moonlight. I begin to see truth in your methods. I admire human endurance. And mine. Perhaps this is why allies cure used much. Alex smiled faintly. Fear is respect sometimes. But humans earn it through action, not intimidation. We prove ourselves by what we do, not just what we say. Lysera nodded. Then, human, you have proven You're kind, worthy today. I will not forget this lesson. As they lay beneath the stars, the silence of the canyon was broken only by the gentle rustle of wind through rocks and the occasional distant howl of desert predators. Alex felt a sense of quiet satisfaction. He had protected Lysera, taught her about humans in action, and survived yet another dangerous encounter. Lysera reached out and touched his arm lightly. Human, you showed me that courage is simple, yet profound. That trust is earned through action, not words. I begin to understand why humans are respected throughout the galaxy. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. It's not magic, Princess. It's just humans being humans. Adapt, survive, and never give up. That's all it takes. Lysera's eyes glimmered with quiet admiration. I see now that your kind combines mind, body, and will in ways we cannot predict. Perhaps this was the greatest power humans possess. Alex smiled faintly. You're getting it.
And you'll carry that understanding back to your people.
Maybe one day they'll see humans the way you do now. Lysera gave a soft nod. Perhaps, human, this is only the beginning. Our journey together has just started. Alex nodded, looking out across the moonlit canyon. The galaxy was vast and full of dangers, but humans had a way of surviving, learning, and thriving, even in the most unexpected circumstances. And Princess Lysera had seen it firsthand. Tomorrow they would continue toward her empire, facing more challenges, more unknown dangers, and more opportunities for humans to shine. But tonight they rested. The twin sons of Clara 7 had long disappeared beyond the horizon, leaving the desert bathed in silver moonlight. Alex and Princess Lysera moved cautiously through the canyon, knowing the rival faction would not give up so easily. Their earlier encounters had been lessons in strategy, patience, and human ingenuity, but the final confrontation was approaching. Alex scanned the terrain ahead. The next pass is narrow, he said quietly. They'll have to funnel through one at a time. That's where we'll get the advantage. Lysera hovered beside him, her violet eyes glowing softly. Human, you turn obstacles into weapons. I am fascinated by your creativity. Alex smirked faintly. It's not creativity, Princess. It's survival. Humans see opportunities where others see danger. You adapt, you act, and you win. They approached the canyon's narrow pass. Jagged rocks lined both sides, creating natural choke points. Alex set small devices along the rocks, simple gadgets that emitted blinding flashes, bursts of smoke, and low-frequency pulses to disrupt alien sensors. He checked each one carefully, then turned to Lysera. Stay behind me. Watch carefully and be ready to move. She nodded. I will observe and follow instructions. In the distance, the sound of engines and hovering crafts grew louder. The rival faction had arrived in full force. Armored aliens with glowing weapons moved with precision, scanning the canyon for any sign of movement. Alex crouched behind a boulder, watching their approach. Here we go, he muttered. Time to show them what humans can do. As the first group of enemies entered the narrow pass, Alex activated the devices. A sudden burst of smoke filled the corridor, disorienting the attackers. Blinding flashes of light caused their sensors to malfunction, and several aliens stumbled into rocks or each other. Lysera watched in awe. Human, you fight without direct combat and still prevail. Incredible. Alex smiled faintly. It's about thinking ahead. Brute force only works if you're stronger. Humans, we rely on cleverness, adaptability, and speed. The enemies regrouped, moving cautiously. Alex led Lysera along a hidden path that gave them a slight height advantage. From above, he could see the entire pass. He placed a few more improvised traps, rocks balanced on precarious ledges, ropes rigged to trip approaching enemies, and small explosive charges salvaged from the station's supplies. Lysera tilted her head. You use environment as an ally. Fascinating. Humans combine mind and terrain to survive. Alex nodded. Exactly. The galaxy expects advanced weapons to win battles. But humans? We fight smart, not always hard. The rival faction pressed forward, unaware of the traps. One by one, aliens triggered the devices. A rock slide blocked part of the corridor, forcing the attackers into a narrow section where Alex could control their movements. A burst of smoke obscured their vision, while another device emitted a pulse that scrambled their sensors. Lysera floated silently, observing every move, clearly impressed. Human, your ingenuity is more powerful than we imagined. Your species turns danger into opportunity. Alex smirked. It's called survival instinct. You'll notice, Princess, humans shine brightest when the odds are against us. Hours passed. The rival faction struggled to advance, their forces thinned and disorganized by Alex's clever tactics. The narrow pass, combined with his devices and strategic placement, gave the humans an overwhelming advantage despite being outnumbered. Finally, the last group of attackers approached. Alex activated his final improvised device, a set of small explosives rigged to collapse a portion of the rocky walls, blocking their path completely. The rocks fell with a thunderous roar, trapping the remaining enemies. Alex and Lysera watched silently as the dust settled, their breaths calm but heavy. Lysera turned to him, eyes wide. Human, you have protected me against overwhelming odds and triumphed with mind and courage. I have learned why your species is feared and respected throughout the galaxy. Alex smiled faintly. It's not about fear. It's about action. You plan, adapt, survive, and protect those who matter. That's humans. Lysera's expression softened, almost shyly. You teach through action rather than words. Your strength is profound, yet quiet. I admire you, human. Alex shrugged. I just do what humans do best. Survive, adapt, and help others. That's all. The two of them continued through the canyon, now safe for the moment. The twin sons of Clyra 7 would rise again soon, and they would need to move before the rival faction regrouped. As they walked, Lysera spoke quietly. Human, your species, possesses something unique. Not technology or power, but will, mind, and heart. Even against enemies strongerly than you humans prevail. Alex nodded. It's simple. We keep moving. We observe, adapt, and act. That's it. But it works better than most expect. Lysera's eyes glimmered with understanding. I see now. Human ingenuity, endurance, courage, all combine to create strength that cannot be measured by weapons alone. Alex smiled. You're learning fast. Most humans don't even understand it themselves, but when it counts, it shows. The canyon opened to a plateau overlooking the desert. The stars reflected off the sand like scattered diamonds. Alex and Lysera paused, catching their breath. The battle was over, the rival faction temporarily defeated. Lysera floated closer, her expression serious yet soft. Human, you have changed my understanding of life and my people. I will carry this lesson to the Empire. Humans are not weak or simple. You possess a strength that is rare and precious. Alex's chest swelled with pride, not for himself, but for humanity. You'll see more, Princess. Humans thrive in impossible situations. We fight, survive, and endure, sometimes in ways even we don't fully understand. Lysera's gaze softened. I will remember this, and human, I trust you. Not just for protection, but because you show me the essence of your kind. Courage, mind, and heart combined. Alex smiled faintly. It's nothing extraordinary. Just humans being humans. We adapt, survive, and help others. That's all it takes to change the outcome, even against impossible odds. As dawn broke over Clyra 7, painting the desert in shades of gold and crimson, Alex and Lysera prepared to continue their journey toward her empire. The rival faction might regroup, but Alex knew humans would always find a way. Adapt, survive, endure. That was humanity's gift. Lysera turned to him, her violet eyes filled with a rare warmth. Human, you have earned my gratitude, my respect, perhaps even my trust beyond words. Alex nodded. Then let's keep moving. The galaxy won't wait for us to rest. They walked together across the desert plateau, the rising suns casting long shadows behind them. Alex felt a deep satisfaction, knowing that humanity had once again proven its ingenuity, resilience, and courage. And for Princess Lysera, the lessons she had learned from a human would shape her understanding of strength,